Okay, this Argentina team is as scary as it gets. Beating Brazil 4-1, that was the latest in line with a series of impressive results. But what if I told you that the secret to Argentina winning 4 major trophies in 3 years is down to one man? But wait, it isn't who you think it is. Not Emiliano Martinez, not Lautaro Martinez, not Enzo Fernandez, not Julian Alvarez, and no, not even Lionel Messi. All these guys have played important parts in Argentina's multi-trophy run, but the real brains behind the entire operation is this man. A man who at the start wasn't even backed by his national legend.
Y nosotros los argentinos tenemos al muchacho Scaloni, que vuelvo a repetir, no tiene la culpa él de estar ahí, A Scaloni lo empujaron ahí y él está ahí. El problema es que se crea técnico mañana Scaloni y diga no, yo quiero ir al mundial, no.
So what has changed with Lionel Scaloni? How has he managed to prove his critics wrong in 6 years, and more so, how has he just not got Argentina winning but playing beautiful football again? Lionel Messi, Lautaro Martinez, Emiliano Martinez, Rodrigo de Paul, Alexis McAllister, Enzo Fernandez, Christian Romero, so many names, so many cold pictures, but is that really the difference with Scaloni? See, Argentina has always been a country full of talent. They've always had squads full of 6 to 7 or more talented players on the level of world class or close to it. But the big difference with Lionel Scaloni isn't the squad, it's the team. Playing as a team, as a unit. This used to be a problem for Argentina that Lionel Scaloni has fixed. It's not that the country didn't have talented players in the past, but the problem was the over-reliance on Messi. Fast forward to today and there is a lot more now. For context, beating Brazil 4-1 was off the back of a 1-0 win against Uruguay, 2 back-to-back matches against tough oppositions in South America, and apart from the results, the other big headline is that they did it without Messi. But that was only the first part. See, Lionel Scaloni knew if he wanted to succeed with Argentina, he needed to come up with a plan, and step 1 was to build a team. Step 2, give them different tactical identities.
It's how good they are in morphing during matches, how they're able to shift and change who they are and the personality of the team. How at times, if they're forced to absorb pressure, they can do that and they can defend in tight areas and they can go on the counter and they can be that counter-attacking team. When they're called upon to have possession of the ball, they can do that too. And when they're called upon to go and attack and trying to find isolation or trying to find balls in behind, they're willing to do that as well.
This pretty much sums it up. Under Lionel Scaloni, Argentina has become a team that can get a result against any nation irrespective of the tactics or formation. They can dig in to get results. We saw it against Uruguay and saw it at the Copa America, when they needed to defend to win games, become a unit and lock out defenses. It's easy because they play as a collective, and on the flip side, when they sense the opposition can be taken out with direct attacking football, they'll go for it. Having this tactical fluidity allows Argentina to become dynamic and sensible too. Take Brazil for example. Everyone always expects the Seleção to play attacking football, and this expectation plays into the mind of whoever the coach is, from Tite to Dorival Jr. But here is the point. Because Brazil will always want to go offensive no matter who they face, there is no balance in the team, no defensive structure, and that's why they look easy to pick out. Step 2 done. Scaloni has now created a tactical identity. He now has a team that can adapt to any situation in a game. But step 3 was even harder, because aside from getting them to play for each other and understanding tactics, it would have never worked if he didn't have the right mix of players. So step 3, the squad depth. Lionel Scaloni himself has openly glazed about how important Messi is to this Argentina team. But the point we're trying to make here is that if you take Messi away from the team, Argentina has a group of players in different positions that are just as important. Take the attack for example. Julian Alvarez has been a standout for Argentina since his big break 3 years ago. But in the same position, they've also got a big contender for the Ballon d'Or this year, Lautaro Martinez. 2 of the best best attackers in Europe, particularly the form of Lautaro Martinez this season, carrying Inter to what could be an unprecedented treble in a couple of weeks. Down the wings, the likes of Angel Correa, Juliano Simeone, Nico Gonzalez and Alejandro Garnacho. In defense, players like Christian Romero, Nicolas Otamendi and Lisandro Martinez when he's fit. The fullbacks Molina, Nicolas Tagliafico, Juan Foyt or the goalkeeper, Emiliano Martinez, an imposing figure behind the sticks. From mind games to incredible saves. We are talking about all of these guys, but notice there is one missing position. Is this position that Scaloni has revamped the most? Midfield. To say Enzo Fernandez, Rodrigo De Paul and Alexis McAllister were all very good against Brazil would be an understatement. They dominated that area of the pitch, and beyond that, they've been the core of Argentina's rebuild under Scaloni. The midfield area used to be a huge problem for Argentina. No disrespect was Javier Mascherano, and he used to be a defensive midfielder or center back. It's fixed now, and not just with the three of De Paul, Enzo Fernandez and McAllister, but also options like Leandro Paredes, Maximo Peroni and Palacios. The point is, whoever Scaloni gets into that area knows what the role is and can easily fit in. Still on the players as well, Scaloni has also noticed a potential downside with this Argentina team that he's attempted to fix. The introduction of young players into this national team setup. Alejandro Garnacho, Thiago Almada, Palacios and Maximo Peroni we mentioned earlier. Nico Paz, Benja Dominguez, Juliano Simeone and even the younger ones like Valentin Carboni and under 20 World Cup winning captain Claudio Echeverri, Santiago Castro. All the names I've just mentioned are all 23 or younger. That's a squad that once they adapt to the team's tactics and learn from the older players will be able to compete for years to come. And speaking of competitions, that has to be it, because in step 4 it all comes down to this one thing: winning. For context, 5 years before Scaloni took over, Argentina had come close on multiple occasions. Losing the 2014 World Cup final was hard, but what about following that up with back-to-back Copa America final losses against the same team? It was so tough that Lionel Messi decided to retire from international football. He came back and 2018 didn't quite work out. In 2019 with Scaloni, Argentina finished third in Copa America. But it wasn't about the results, it was a question of what the team was trying to build. In the end, it was always going to depend on the results as the ultimate test. And by 2021, Scaloni and Argentina broke the jinx. The first trophy in 28 years. Followed that up with this, the Finalissima after beating Italy in Wembley. And in 2022, the big one. Winning the World Cup is the ultimate prize, and Scaloni's Argentina did. They entered that competition off the back of a 36-game unbeaten run, only to lose in the opening game to Saudi Arabia, but the comeback after that was very impressive. Wins against Poland and Mexico to not just seal qualification but top the group, beating Australia in the round of 16 after a nervy final minutes, beating the Netherlands in a penalty shootout after a 2-2 draw in 120 minutes, beating Croatia 3-0 in the semis, and the final, probably the most legendary final in sports history. They beat France after a 3-3 draw in 120 minutes on penalty. I've said all of this to bring out one central point. The difference between Scaloni's Argentina and the one from previous years, the one under the likes of Sampaoli, Maradona, Gerardo Martino and Marcelo Bielsa, the difference was the stuff you'd seen in both clips: trophies and winning. But what's more difficult than winning? Step 5. Winning again. Successfully retaining the Copa America title was another big achievement for Scaloni. It also showed the depth of the team, the ability to survive in games. A narrow win against Chile, a penalty shootout win against Ecuador, beating Colombia in the final in extra time, the hallmark of champions. Perhaps the best part with this is that with all he's managed to achieve, Scaloni remains calm, the same humble guy from 2019, and he's emotional too. In the the end, he's just that guy who enjoys watching his team win and always wants his team grounded no matter what. And that's the scariest bit about Scaloni, the fact that he can be witnessing this Argentina machine destroy teams in different games and remain calm and humble. He's created a team that's set to compete for years to come. They've been so good that this Argentina team under Scaloni is already being discussed as possibly the greatest team of all time.
Another Copa America for Lionel Messi and company. 3 major international trophies in the last 3 years. Begging the question, Shaka, where do they fit in the conversation of greatest international team of all time?
But what do you think? Is this statement a little bit too far? Is there a better team in world football right now than Argentina? I think not. So can they go all the way again and win the World Cup in 2026?